For formatting, I turn to the Home tab in the ribbon, and the first block here is the font group, which has the most used font commands. The second group is the paragraph group with the most used paragraph commands. If I need more, I can click on this little link in the corner, which drills me down to the full font dialog box. And if you look at that carefully, it is essentially unchanged from what came before in Word. Likewise for the paragraph dialog box. And I was comforted to find that beneath this new veneer, it really is the same word processor that I've been using for years. Now I want to select some text and make a change to that. And a couple of versions ago, they added in the font menu a view of the fonts, which I thought was kind of nice because I couldn't quite think of what Bauhaus or Algerian might be like. But still, there was a process that people went through of picking, clicking, seeing the results, not liking the results, and then hitting the undo key. And most folks did this pick, click, undo cycle about 4 times before they settled on a font. Well, now you simply hover the mouse over the font name in the list, and you get a live preview in the document of what it's going to look like. So the process now is pick, click, and I'm done. There's no undo required. I get the font that I expect the first time because I know what it's going to look like even before I apply it. This live preview for formatting works with fonts. It also works with point size. How big is too big? Well, that's probably too big there, so we just slide down the scale here until it looks like it's going to fit. I select the point size I want, and it's done. Who would think that they could improve on the process of changing fonts and point size, but they have, and it really is fast and easy. If I want to apply some bullets down here, I can click on the bullet button to turn bullets on and off, and that works about like it did in the past. But now there's a little sidebar next to the bullet button where I can go in and do a live preview of all these different bullet styles and apply one just like that. If I come down here to the bottom of my document and I select some text, sometimes you'll see a little mini toolbar appear. Now it's a shy thing, but if you sneak up on it, it'll stay there. And what this has are the most common commands for editing text. If I want to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit bolder, I just click right there in that mini toolbar, and then when I move away, it fades away. Now the first time I saw that, I thought, well, this is kind of nice. I'll use that sometimes instead of going up to the ribbon. Well, I was wrong. It turns out I use that almost all the time because it is so handy compared to going up to the ribbon. It's just right there where I'm doing the work. I can right-click and make it appear along with a context-sensitive menu. I like the little paintbrush where I can dip it in the bucket there, come up here, and copy that formatting. And I save several miles on my mouse each year thanks to that little mini toolbar. It's throughout Office whenever you're editing text, and I miss it when I go to other programs that don't have that mini toolbar. Now if you had never used the paintbrush before and you hovered over that paintbrush icon in the old version of Word, you would see a little tip that said, this is the format painter, you use it to paint formats. That doesn't give you much information. Now, as you hover over that, you get a little more descriptive text. It tells you what it is, what it does, and how to use it. So you can kind of learn by looking as you go through this interface. Here's the line spacing button, what it is, what it does, and how you can use it. And if I click on this, I can see that I have the various line spacing available for that paragraph. Let's say we want to change the line spacing in this paragraph down here at the very bottom. So we can go up there, and as I hover over these, I see a live preview of what all that spacing is going to look like. The default spacing, by the way, now is 1.15 lines instead of 1 line, which makes it a little bit easier to read on screen. Now some people don't care for this spacing, so if you want to reset that to 1, you can select 1 right there, and then you've got 1 in that paragraph. If you want to change it, you can go down to the paragraph dialog box here, change it to single spacing, and down here at the bottom say set as default. Now in this document, the default line spacing will be single spacing. If I choose the bottom option there, it'll change it in my document template, so all new documents I create from this point forward will have that as the default spacing. I also like to point out some keyboard shortcuts for changing the line spacing in a paragraph. When you select the text or you're in the paragraph, Control 2 will do double spacing, Control 1 on the keyboard will do single spacing, and Control 5 does not do pentuple spacing, that does 1.5 lines of space. So if your kid's got to write a 3-page term paper and they've only written 2 pages, Control 5 will solve their problem. Toot sweet. Some other things that I can do with ease now include adding a drop cap. If I say Insert Drop Cap, I can preview it and apply it before I make that change. And a lot of times I need to view the ruler to adjust things on my paragraphs and my margins. Well, I can do that now by saying View Ruler up there in the ribbon. That used to take 2 mouse clicks. Now it's just a single click. So that's a 50% savings. But what if I'm over here in the Home tab and I want to view the ruler? Well, it's still just a single mouse click because they put a button at the top of the vertical scroll bar on the right where I can click and turn the ruler on right there. I found a third way. If you just hover the mouse underneath the ribbon and think ruler, you can also get it to appear. So they must have a little ESP going on there. It works on the top and it works over here on the left-hand side. So hopefully that's given you an introduction to some text and paragraph formatting in Microsoft Word 2010.